Hey, it's Melissa. Welcome to my $100,000 stock experiment, year 3, week 32, ending November 20th, 2020. This isn't an endorsement to purchase any stocks that I bought, nor an endorsement to purchase stocks in general. I'm on a mission to become a great growth stock investor, and I'm letting you watch me on my journey. Hopefully you can learn from my mistakes and celebrate my successes. According to the IBD at investors.com, the market is in a confirmed uptrend. This is the S&P 500 Index 6-month chart. This week on Monday, it had a new closing high. I pointed at that with the yellow arrow. The last new high had been on September 2nd, and I drew a blue box around that price action from September 2nd, the range for the day, and I drew it over to the right. This week, the S&P 500 index closed twice above that box and 3 times inside the box. I'd like to see it close in the box or above it for the next few weeks in a consolidation and hopefully not fall below this blue box. I wasn't happy with my losses in week 31, plus I got kicked out of stock so quickly, but I didn't let it deter me from looking at charts and seeing if any stocks piqued my interest. I didn't think I'd be buying much this week, but each day my portfolio was improving, so I added stocks on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I ended up buying 6 new stocks. My Tuesday buy of MoneyGram failed, that's shown in the red there, but the rest of my stocks held up. Every time I purchase a stock, I set a stop limit order as a floor. Initially, it's at 8% below my purchase price. I've been trying to leave that 8% floor for 4 weeks unless the stock makes a double-digit gain or the market is not in confirmed uptrend, but I'm not sure about that part of this rule. My rules are an evolution. I'm trying to learn my style and how to trade stocks better than I'm doing now. I mark up my charts with a green line that shows the purchase price. A little orange box shows the purchase date, and the yellow line is my 8% floor. If I raise my floor, I'll put a dash yellow line that shows my new floor. This is a 6-month chart for Yeti Holdings, stock symbol YETI. I held the stock for 3 days and it's up 6.4%, which is a really nice gain. At the yellow arrow, the stock had a nice move up on earnings in super large volume. The volume is down at the bottom, and I also have that yellow arrow for the volume. The next day, the price held, and then it retreated and pulled back all the way, lost its gain for that earnings day. After the pullback to the 31-day exponential moving average, which is that blue line, the stock steadily advanced. I would like to see an all-time high in the upcoming week. Hologic Inc., stock symbol HOLX. I've held this stock for just the 2 days and it's down 1.4%. I didn't take good notes on why I purchased this stock, but it was in the pivot point. I left my floor at 8%, and currently this stock is my biggest loser. Neogenomics, stock symbol NEO. I've held this stock for 2 days and it's up 5%. Super nice gain. I have owned this stock before. I did miss out on that big run up at number 1, but I hope I can catch up with the next wave. I purchased this stock when it was in the pivot point after visiting that 50-day simple moving average, which is that red diagonal line. Nvidia Corp, stock symbol NVDA. I've held this stock just the 1 day and it's down 1.4%. I decided to give Nvidia another try. They did have great earnings this week, but the price didn't move. I've owned this stock 3 times in 2020. Once I had a 37% gain, then I had a 6 and an 8% loss. Every week I review my charts and see if I can raise my floor. Taiwan Semiconductor, stock symbol TSM. I've held this for 2 weeks and I have a 3.9% gain, which is a really nice gain. And I did raise my floor on this to the 50-day simple moving average, which is that red diagonal line. ResMed Inc., stock symbol RMD. I've held this stock for 2.5 weeks and it's down just about 1%. I left my floor where it was at last week. The stock does seem to be going sideways. You might ask what I'm looking for. Well, I'm looking for a drop below the high of 209 that it had at that yellow arrow on 7/23. And I'm also hoping that it makes that price movement up to 219 where that orange dash is. ResMed has not been meeting my goal for 3 weeks. I'd like to see it making 1% a week, but it's not doing that. So at the end of this week, I'm going to take another look at this chart and see if I want to still hold or if I want to sell. Don't let a double-digit gain turn into a loss. Roku Inc. Stock symbol ROKU. I've held this stock for a week and a half and it's up 13.1%. I like my rule to not let a double-digit gain turn into a loss, but I didn't think I could apply it to Roku this week. I think it was too soon to move the floor above my purchase price, given the price moved up so fast in the last 2 days. I did move my floor up to the 31-day exponential moving average, and a trigger of the floor would be a loss of 4% on this stock. Paycom Software Inc., stock symbol PAYC. I have 2 buys in this stock. My B1 I've held for just about 7 weeks and I'm up just about 15%. My B2 I've held for 5.5 weeks and I'm up 3.8%. I did raise my floor to the 31-day exponential moving average, which is that diagonal blue line. An exit on my B1 would give me an 8% gain and a loss of 2% on my B2. I would like to see the stock close and stay above 400. It did close the week at 392.71, so it's close. I like to add to positions as the stocks prove themselves. Retractable Technologies Inc., stock symbol RVP. I have 2 buys in this. My B1 I've held for 3 days and it's up 17.7%. And my B2 I've held just the 1 day and it's down 0.2%. I did struggle with the decision whether or not to raise my floor, but ultimately I moved it to 1% above my purchase price on my B1. I had found this stock on my Tandem Like screen. This stock broke the $10 price on volume on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday I made the purchase. It did have a high of $13.65 on July 31st. Let's see if we can hit that and move above. Down at number 1, I'm showing the earnings per share. This is from a MarketSmith chart. You can see that in June, September, and December of 2019, earnings per share went from 1 cent profit to 3 cents to 6 cents. There was a drop in March 2020 back down to the 1 cent, which I attribute to the coronavirus, but then the earnings per share bounced back in June to 11 cents, and then in September 2020 it jumped all the way up to 33 cents. I think that's incredible earnings growth. Sales also shot up to $27 million in September 2020 after being in the $11 to $12 million range for 4 quarters. Looking at a 5-day chart for RVP, it looks like institutional buying to me. At number 1 and 2, down in the volume section, there was hardly any volume. And then the 4 blue boxes, I show lots of volume with price increasing. Tesla, I have 2 buys in this stock. One I've held for a week and a half and I'm at 16.7%, and one I've held for 2 days and I'm down 2.3%. Tesla had 3 days of above average volume with price increasing. It did hit an all-time high on Thursday of 508.61, and it closed in an all-time high on Thursday at 499.27. I'm taking a class at Fidelity where we're discussing trend lines. I attempted to mark up the Tesla chart to help me determine where I should put my floor. I drew an orange line connecting the lows on 4 different days. I extended this line and the anticipated low for 11/20 is at 415.06. I put my floor at 1% below this price at 410.91. That won't give me a profit if I sell, but it reduces my potential loss to 2%. I also marked up the recent highs with the purple dots and line. I expect the price of Tesla to remain between the purple and orange lines for the next several weeks. The Fidelity site also has tools that show support and resistance line on the chart. My floor of 410.91 isn't too far off from the support they're showing at 420.09. I did sell one stock this week, MoneyGram International, stock symbol MGI. I held the stock for just 2 days and it was down 8%. I still like this stock and might give it another try. It is holding at its 8-day simple moving average, and I think my next buy point might be at 733 if I like the way this stock is performing. I'm so drawn to charts like these that have a long consolidation with tight price action and then a sudden increase in volume and price. The current holding bar chart shows one bar for each week or portion of a week that I've held the stock. My $10,000 purchase is indicated with that dashed black line, and the floor, my 8% floor, is the yellow line at 9,200. So starting over on the left-hand side in the blue, stock symbol HOLX, I have a loss in that because it's below that $10,000 mark. NEO, I have a gain in. NVIDIA, I have a loss in. Paycom, I've held the longest. It's in the pink. I've held it for the 7 weeks, and you can see it went up, then down, then up, and now it has the best gain I've had so far in it. Next to that, RMD is, I have a loss in. Roku in the red, nice gain. RVP, nice gain. Tesla next to it in the aqua, nice gain. TSM in the yellow, I have a gain, and Yeti, I have a gain in the orange. I take a look at my current dollar value gain for my B1 purchase, and I sort it with the losers on the top. So I have 3 losers here, HOLX, NVIDIA, and RMD. I have 4 stocks down at the bottom with double-digit gains. 2 of them I've held for just 2 weeks, 1 I've held for just 1 week, and 1 I've held for 7 weeks. That's great. I also look at my percentage change for the week. The first week that I have the stock, it's from my purchase price, not for the whole week. I sort these with the losers on the top. RMD up at the top, I have it in a red box because it did not beat the S&P 500 for a week. It's also not meeting my 1% gain per week, and I've held it for 3 weeks. So this stock I might have to cut. It's crazy all the way down at the bottom. I had 3 stocks that were up over 15% this week. Roku, RVP, and Tesla. My benchmark recovered a bit since last week. After 2 years and 32 weeks, my $100,000 has grown to $149,798 versus the S&P 500, which has grown to $133,928. The stocks that I held last week and I still have this week accounted for $3,984 worth of my gain, and new purchases, including my one that I sold, account for $1,678 of my gain this week. The S&P 500 had a loss of 0.8% this week, and for the experiment year, which started in mid-April, the S&P 500 is up 27.5%. Over on the right-hand side, you can see the numbers for the Melissa method. My weekly change, I was up 3.9%, which is great. And my experiment year, I'm only up 3.5%. So the S&P 500 is kicking my butt for the experiment year so far. The industry breakdown shows that I'm most heavily invested in medical supplies, and I put a 2 where I have 2 purchases. So retractable technologies, I have 2 purchases. My next industry where I'm most heavily invested is in leisure, followed by chips, then cash, then software, and auto. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for my next episode, or better yet, subscribe to my channel, The Melissa Method. Don't forget to hit the bell if you want an alert when I post a new episode.